Hola clase. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to be flipping our lecture. So we're going to do a lecture for homework, and then you're going to be doing classwork in class. So what I'd like you to do is get out a piece of paper and take notes on this while you're listening. So you can either watch this on another device and take your notes on Notability. Your notes need to be handwritten. Or if you need to watch this lecture on the iPad, then you can do it on another piece of paper. Either way, you're going to need to show me your notes in class. So let's start the verb gustar. We talked about the verb gustar at the very beginning of the year, and we said things like, me gusta estudiar. Actually, that's probably what I said, huh? You probably said something more like, me gusta hablar en teléfono. Or me gusta practicar deportes. Alright, so let's look at this. When we're looking at this, there's a couple of things I want you to know. One, instead of saying yo, we said me. And that's because we're not actually saying I like something, but something is pleasing to me. So that to me is going to be me instead of yo. Secondly, all of these things that we said we like to do are verbs. Right? So these are all things that we like to do, and things that we like to do are verbs. Lastly, the verbs all the way through here, they end in R. We didn't change them at all, and that's called the infinitive form. Also, you'll notice through all of these that we used gustar, but we use gusta, gusta, and gusta. Okay, so that's what we've already learned so far. Let's add to it. So today we're going to be talking not about what we like to do, but about things that we like. And things are not verbs, things are nouns. Person, place, or things, remember, are nouns. Okay, so let's look at how to say things that we like. First, we're going to start off again. Let's ask some questions. Let's say, me gusta la clase de español. And then I will ask you a question back. ¿Te gustan los libros? And then maybe somebody else might say something like, sí, a Juana le gustan los libros. Alright, so let's take a look at what we have here. We've got some different things going on. First, we have me, te, and le. Remember, we talked about those before, and that is the person who likes. That's how we express that. If you'll notice, this one down here has a repeat. We have a Juana is the same as le. And a Juana is what remember we called that an emphasizer, or in this case a clarifier. And to do that, remember we started off with the a there. So a mí, a ti, those are the ones that are funny, and then the rest, a él, a ella, someone's name, a ellos, the rest are all the same. But we have me, te, le, and then later on we'll have nos and les. Okay, let's look at the end part of our sentences here. So going backwards, we have la clase went to gustan, los libros went to gustan, and then los libros again changed to gustan. So here we have a change. So we've got gusta, but gustan with the plural, and oops, over here, gustan with the plural. So we have some changes. Let's look at our formula. So to express the person that we're talking, so the person who likes, you're going to choose that indirect object pronoun, and you're going to choose between me, there's several people, nos, you're talking to someone, te, or le, if you want to be more formal, les, if you're talking to a group of people, if you're talking about one person, le, talking about a group of people, ellos, les. So you're going to choose just one of those. So one of those guys, plus, and then I kind of like to skip ahead. It's kind of backwards from English, but if you like just one thing, so we'll call that a noun singular, or if you like two or more things, this is very important there, and that is a noun plural. Okay, so depending on which one of those things you have, you need to choose, actually let's change that little bracket guy. You need to choose between gusta, for this guy, and gustan, with an N for the plural. Alright, so this is how we express gustar with the thing liked in that column. Now in English, we pretty much generally go forward, right? I like this. In Spanish, you really need to jump around. And in Spanish, instead, you think, okay, who likes it? Start here, choose one of those guys. Then you need to think what is liked and jump to the end of the sentence and then go backwards to choose the correct form of the verb gustar. So let's do some practice sentences. Alright, I would like you to write some different sentences. I'm going to put just the beginning part down here for you. So let's say let's start one out with me, something that you like. I want you to ask a question. So start that off with te, talk to one person. And then I want you to make another sentence. I'm going to start it off for you, and I'm going to start it off with a Paco. So what do we choose with a Paco? Remember, that's our emphasizer. So I'm going to help you out here. I'm going to go le. Okay. So I want you to do 3 sentences. So 1, 2, and 3. I want you to finish each of these with the correct form of the verb gustar. And then let's do 1 thing for this one, 2 things for this one, and 1 thing for this one. So I want you to come up with your own sentences for these. After you've made your sentences underneath, I would like you to translate them to English. So when you're all done, you should have 3 sentences. So go ahead, pause it now, and come up with your sentences. Add those to your notes. Alright, so let's look at what we have so far. Let's think this is pretty much our formulas for gustar. Okay, so first you're going to start off, and the person who likes something, you're going to say me, nos, or te, or le, or les, or le, or less. Then you're going to, we have 3 versions actually. You're going to jump ahead, remember, to the end. And if it's something that you like to do, so a verb. Or you might have 1 thing, so a noun in the singular. Or 2 or more things, so a noun plural. Then depending on that, you're going to go backwards. For this one, you will choose gusta. For this one, second one, 1 thing, you're going to choose gusta again. And this one's the one that's different. Gustan. Alright, so basically, order is here I, and then second one is the things, and then third you want to go back and think of this. In Spanish, actually what you're saying is, it starts the exact opposite. The thing you like to do is pleasing to me, instead of the forward in English. I would like you to please take a screenshot of this page, add it to your camera, and then it'd be a good idea to add it to your notes for later on. I would also like you to make sure to take in all of your notes. So tomorrow in class, I want to see the notes that you took on this, either on a piece of paper, or even better if you can have it on your Notability. The notes need to be in your handwriting. I also want to see that you follow the directions at the very, very end and took a screenshot of this, so it should be in your photos, or even better if you've imported it already from your photos into your notes. Alright, adios clase.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.